most wanted man in the sector. You ain't that hard to find. I had to see it for myself. Little Jimmy Raynor, the people's hero.
Tychus Findlay. Nice suit.
Pays to be prepared.
I heard they put you on ice. Life sentence. What? To give you time off for good behavior?
That's right, old buddy. I'm a model citizen now.
So to what do I owe the pleasure?
Just a friendly business proposition. Do you even know what the Dominion are doing out here?
I'm guessing you're about to tell me.
Digging up alien artifacts, old buddy. Your boy Minsk has gone crazy for them. But I got a contact that'll pay top dollar for every artifact we liberate from the Dominion.
I guess I can hardly pass that up now. Can I, Tychus?
Partners then. 60-40.
70-30. My way. Feels like old times already.
Old times.
So I'm going to use this opportunity to explain a little bit about who Mengsk and Jim Raynor are. So back in StarCraft I, Jim Raynor was actually the hero of the original Terran campaign. He was a marshal who was working for the government at the time, but was thrown into prison after this sort of thing happened. And then Mengsk and his men, who were called the Sons of Korhol, came along and rescued him, and together they took down the government. However, Mengsk is actually a huge asshole, and in the process he got Raynor's girlfriend, who was called Kerrigan, killed. Although it turns out that she wasn't actually killed, she got infested by the Zerg. And he basically just backstabbed a ton of other people. And Raynor, being fed up with it, escaped and now has been fighting Mengsk ever since. Tychus here is a brand new character in StarCraft II, and they'll explain his relationship to Jim Raynor a bit more in the future, but basically he and Raynor used to work together in the past when Raynor was still a criminal. And then an event happened and Tychus went to prison and Jim Raynor changed his ways and became a marshal. So let's talk to him then.
Call me curious, but how'd you get out?
Well, I busted out of my cryo freezer while they were transporting me to New Folsom. Oh, I must have killed at least a dozen guards with my bare hands.
Yeah, I've heard this one before. But you left out the part where you walked on water. Made off with the warden's daughter.
Don't you get uppity with me, boy. I heard all about you becoming a big-time freedom fighter while I was away. What happened, Jimmy? The war for truth and justice get too much for you.
I ain't licked yet, Tychus. And I promise you, Mengsk is going down, one way or another.
This looks recent. This your doing, Jimmy?
Folks in these parts are ready to fight back against Mengsk. Guess they just needed a little push.
You still take this whole revolution thing pretty serious, then?
Everyone needs a hobby, Tychus. Sarah. Sometimes I think it would have been better if you just died that day.
Let's check out the news!
This is Donnie Vermillion, live from the UNN studios on Korhal. We've got a breaking story for you. Let's go live to our own Kate Lockwell on the fringe world of Marsara. Kate?
Thanks, Donnie. Rebel Jim Raynor has reappeared in a big way. He's attacked a Dominion depot near Backwater Station, seizing weapons and distributing them to the local populace.
Kate, I bet the locals are pretty nervous about having a notorious outlaw in their neighborhood.
Actually, Donnie, the people I talked to seemed really encouraged by the...
You heard it here first. Jim Raynor, terrorizing the locals on Marsara. When we return, are your kids using stim packs?
Keep talking, pal. I'm just getting started.
Yeah, it's an ongoing joke in this game that Donnie Vermillion is super biased towards Mengsk. Anyway, on to the next mission.
Thanks to your actions, Marsara is now in a state of open revolt against Arcturus Mengsk. Ex-convict Tychus Findlay has revealed the Dominion came to Marsara to excavate an alien artifact. Seizing the artifact will strike another blow against the Dominion and generate funds from selling it to Findlay's mysterious contacts.
This old outpost don't look like anything special.
Keep your shirt on, son. Dominion engineers been digging out here for months. See that crane? They're getting ready to move the artifact they found off-world.
Well, I'll be damned.
See? You gotta have a little more faith, Jimmy.
All right, time to give the Dominion a wake-up call. Let's smash that base and haul that baby out of there.
Alright, and here we have the other major part of StarCraft II, which is the base building. Now, I'll just briefly go over what all this is if you're not familiar with StarCraft II or RTSs in general.
Commander, additional tutorials are available for you to review.
Thank you, Robot Lady.
SCV ready.
We'll need a lot more Marines before we take on the Dominion outpost. Train them up at the barracks. While we're at it, extra SCVs will help us harvest minerals faster. Train them up at the command center.
SCV ready.
So, each race in this game has a center building that's the center of the whole economy. For the Terrans, it's the command center. From this we can make workers, who are these guys called SCVs, and workers collect minerals for us, like you can see there, and also build everything, like our military buildings or upgrade facilities, and all the stuff like that. Now this game features three main resources. It has minerals, which are the blue crystals here. Okay, give me a second. Minerals are basically the basic building blocks of everything in StarCraft II. Everything needs a certain amount of minerals, and so it's a good idea to try and collect as many as you can. You can see above the command center here what the recommended level is, which is 30, so try and get to 30 as quickly as you can, because that means you'll have the most money coming in that you can spend on stuff. The second resource is Vespene gas, which is right here. Now Vespene gas is only used for the medium tech to high tech stuff, but pretty much every upgrade in the game needs it, and it's a good idea to try and get as much of this as you can too. The thing that's kind of interesting about it is that Vespene gas only has 1 point you can collect it from. Some missions have 2, some even have 3, but for now it's just 1, so the collection of this is going to be way slower than minerals. Also, you can't actually collect it until you put a refinery down on it. So, get that thrown down quickly, and then when it finishes, we can throw some more workers in it. And there we go. Now it's up to the max. Because Vespene gas does come in a lot slower than minerals, it's a pretty good idea to try and think exactly what you want to buy with it. So, for example, if you're getting a primarily, like, infantry-based army, then focus on infantry upgrades, or if you're going air, then focus on air upgrades and stuff like that. Now, the final resource in this game is actually called supply, which is a concept that a lot of RTS uses.
Additional supply depots required.
There you go. Basically, you have a limit to how many units you can build, because every unit in the game costs a certain amount of supply. If you reach the max, then you can't build any more units, and you have to build some more supply. In order to build supply, you have to build some more supply depots, which are these things here. So let's throw a bunch of those down, and our SCV will go around building this all. But yeah, like right now we can't even train this medic because we don't have the supply for it. Medics cost 2 supply and we only have 1 available, so let's build a marine instead. Alright, and that's all the basics for base building here. I'm doing a bunch of advanced strategies right now. For example, I'm making groups for my units down here. So I can simply press 3 just like my barracks is, or 4 just like my command center, and I can just spam up some units there. Let's collect these mineral fields, and then see if we can make a dent in the enemy's base. Probably not with this small force. They have a pretty good defensive position up here. Although we are a normal, so things are a lot easier. I recently played this game on Brutal, and it was quite an experience. Yeah, going back on normal right now, it's kind of surprising the difference in difficulty.
Commander, the Dominion is attacking the rebel base to the southwest.
Oh, there's assholes.
Good. That'll keep the Dominion off our backs.
No, Tychus.
Those folks need our help, Tychus. There's no way we're leaving them to rot.
Oh, this is what I'm talking about.
You rang?
So an interesting thing about Terrans is that a lot of their buildings can actually lift off. For example, this barracks here can lift off and then fly over here. I'm going to bring it towards my base just so they can't sneak up here and destroy it while I have no defenses. Ooh, I see minerals. Oh, and I see Dominion too. You.
Bad guys are that away.
Thank you, sir.
It's Rainer's boys.
So another strategy you can do is use shift clicking in order to do different stuff. So for example, I've set this waypoint for this guy here to go down there, and then collect the minerals here, and then walk back up to the base.
Can go to hell.
Man, these guys are like they really hate the Dominion. And you can also do that for building too, which is what I was doing before. So if you hold, if you do the hotkey for supply depot, and then hold shift, you can just build a ton of them. And this SCV will build all 3 of these before rotating back to the minerals. Man, they just keep fighting. I'm trying to explain stuff here. Guard everyone.
Complete.
So, yeah, that's all I really need to explain, I think. I guess talk a little bit about the units here. Right now we have access to both Marines and Medics. Marines are the basic unit for the Terrans. They're pretty weak dudes that have low health and low defense, but they do have pretty fast attack speed and can attack both ground and air. That makes them surprisingly useful actually, because you can just run in with a huge force of really, cannon fodder / disposable Marines and just kind of wreck everyone. Along with this, we have medics, and medics are really, really good units because they help keep your light and... oh wait, no. They help keep your biological units alive. So for example, these Marines are biological. And that's really, really good considering, like I said, Marines are kind of cannon fodder / squishy. So being able to keep them alive and do more damage is a really, really good thing. So always make sure to throw a couple of medics in your army during the campaign. Unfortunately, they're campaign only. They are a unit back in Brood War, but they made a new unit for the StarCraft II competitive mode called a Medevac, which is a flying sort of medic. But they're like way down the tech tree.
You want a piece of me, boy?
All right, let's move out and take it to them. We've got to clear this area.
Okay, Raina. Yeah, I think we could easily do this. We have a huge army right now. There's more dudes coming in too. So, let's go. Let's spam some more Marines.
Warning.
Oh, Hellions.
Hellions approaching.
Hellions are vehicles that have a ranged attack that can hit multiple units. Look at the healing here. Oh, medics are the best. They can only heal as much as they have energy. Energy being your typical mana / magic / PP sort of thing. But yeah, like you probably never run out of it because it regenerates really quickly. Oh yeah, they can't do anything to stop us.
Nice job cleaning out that.
Let's go, everyone.
Between your boys and my skills, we are gonna go a long way together.
Let's head over and take out this factory first, because that's where Hellions are produced from. Once that's down, this base will be no problem. Yeah, there's nothing they can do to stop us here. Let's go, everyone! I don't know where these Marines are coming from, but I don't care. Alright, and with that, this base has been taken care of, and this mission has been completed. Nice.
Crane controls accessed. Decrypting security overrides. Crane control established.
Beautiful. Now let's reel that sucker in and get out of here.
Okay, the Outlaws has been completed. On to the next one.